in week 2.
Taken from about the 12. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the NFL's leader in rushing touchdowns last year is James Conner.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Murray now. And complete to Zach Ertz.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Murray. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Max Crosby drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
Now Andy Lee will come on to punt this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
And here comes Abdullah on the return.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll send the tight end in motion. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And now off to the races down the right side.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
As the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Taken from about the 12. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's a handoff to Connor.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing now is Murray. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
It's Chris Harris with a pick.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken from about the 12. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Going deep for Hopkins.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that may have been incomplete, but he reminds me so much of when my dad used to take me to the baseball stadium and watch the home run hitters in batting practice. I'll get to the stadium early just to watch this kid throw it. He can throw it out of the stadium.
Zach Ertz has it complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Murray. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 2nd and 10, Murray trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. A lot of bodies there in the middle of the field, and that one intercepted.
Yeah, he's looking for his tight end running a drag route across the field, and normally you'd like him to work a little bit further outside. Here the throw is a little early, and it winds up in the hands of the defender.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Carr, a quick throw. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. The Raiders at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Carlson on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
Murray's throw complete there to Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Murray to Moore, first down, Arizona. Murray again, this is Connor. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its feet.
And the Raiders have got him. Maxx Crosby able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
They're going for it. Hits Murray. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. Gets through, and now an opening. A second pin has fallen. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Call that a very strong gain of 24. That's how you draw up the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes. The receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quick. Touchdown!
Making 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken from about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
Pulls it in at the 13. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
On second down, they'll run with White. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his man. It's White. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They keep it on the ground. White again. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Here's White.
He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll get that out to the flat to White.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Carlson is good.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
Well, you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Jonathan Abram picks it. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Down to about the 23.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
They stay on the ground with White. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
29.
Now Carr.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Raiders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just with silver.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Down to about the 23.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 3rd down, a run from White. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but As you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Finding Moore on the out route for the completion. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. From the gun, Murray. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to get it back here just past the 35. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And they will take a knee here. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down.